What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be doing a video on a amateur tournament. Actually, it's not an MPL tournament. I wanted to go into an amateur tournament because they actually show pretty surprising drafts and strategies that you don't usually see in the MPL. All right, but before we start, make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that notification bell before we start. All right, so let's head on to the video. Alright guys, so if you guys did read the title, this is gonna be an Odette Diggie strategy with the Bruno. But there are alternative picks here that you could do. For example, you could do Estes to substitute the Odette. But the Odette is probably better, to be honest, especially if you have a good Odette player. You need an AX planer that has really high sustain, such as Baksha, Uranus, Esmeralda, and other heroes like Thamus. Just really high sustain so they could survive. And then your core needs to be someone that has usually a global ulti. Yusenshin is probably the best bet. Hellcurt could work here too. And a jungler that could also jungle individually. Alright, he doesn't need help, so Claude will not work here as a jungler, I would say. Benedetta is really good here, I would say, as a core. For Bruno, you could substitute someone that has really fast tower push or objective. So someone like Brody, alright, but in this case Brody was picked by Apex Reach Apex, so JNA cannot pick Brody anymore for that side lane. Bruno is really good though, since he pushes towers really fast. Alright, so if you guys don't know, JNA is my former team. I used to coach JNA, and now G is coaching JNA after I left to coach Sunsparks. Alright, this strategy has been out for a while, but I haven't had time to actually cover it and show it to people that don't really watch amateur tournaments. Alright, I really want people from other countries to I want to showcase what the Philippine amateur tournaments have, the unique playstyle or strategies that they have, and show it to people around the world. And you could also do it in ranked games if you want, but you really need good coordination and teamwork for you to be able to you know, execute the strategy. Okay, so let's move on. Alright guys, so for this strategy, obviously the sustain hero is going to go to the XP lane, and then the gold laner or your core, your other core without the retribution would go to the gold lane along with the Diggie. So what Diggie's going to do, he's going to be harassing whoever's in this lane. And considering that Paquito is a melee hero, this Diggie is going to harass this Paquito very well, and he's going to be really annoying. So I think Reach Apex are not ready for this, to be honest with you. Alright, and what Odette is gonna do is he's gonna let the mid lane push first, so that he could reach, she could reach level 2 when the minions push into their side of the map. So Odette needs to get level 4 first. After getting level 4, Odette will rotate to where the gold laner is, where the Diggie and the Bruno are, and they will force the push on that tower right there on the top lane. And actually Paquito is with Lapu-Lapu, so there's actually 2 people here for Reach Apex side as well to try and match up the Diggie and the Bruno strategy. Alright, but it's gonna be really hard because both these heroes are ranged, while Paquito and Lapu-Lapu are mainly melee type of hero. Right, so obviously we see Odette leash the Yusenshin right there, so it's a lot faster for Yusenshin to farm and use his passive. And there goes the Odette trying to get level 4. The turtle's actually bugged in the minimap because they paused at the start of the game. But let's keep going. This is pretty straightforward, to be honest. So what Trevor is gonna do here is just protect. This is actually Jirax's new, but he changed his name. So let's just keep going and try to get as much farm as possible and try to get this Bruno to late game. And once Odette gets level 4, that's where everything's gonna happen. They don't really care about where the turtle's gonna be. All right, they don't really care if the enemy team takes the turtle. All they care about is the tower. All right. And right here, the Dig is actually very low, but he's not scared. And I don't know if he's gonna recall or what, but I think he's gonna kill himself intentionally so that he can get full health. He has the support emblem, but he doesn't have the focusing mark. He has the focusing mark. He doesn't have the what's it called? The pull yourself together emblem. So, but still, he's gonna spawn pretty damn quick, even if he dies to the minion. So he's gonna execute himself just on purpose, so he doesn't have to recall and die. You know what I mean? And now it's only a 6-second cooldown, and he's already on this side of the map. so it's actually faster, and his bombs reset as well. So that's why it's actually smarter to kill yourself when you're super low with Diggie in the early stages of the game. Alright, since Odette is still not level 4, we see right here that Apex, Reach Apex, they're actually trying to match this 2 right here with 3 people, since they know that they're getting outpoked for Reach Apex with the Bruno bombs, with the Diggie first kill. That's why Reach Apex is trying to gank and try to get something, right? He's going to try to ulti maybe, but I don't think it's going to kill. It is not going to kill, so Diggie's actually going to be forced to recall right there so he could heal. But finally, Odette is going to be level 4 after this wave, so we're going to see we're going to see this game plan actually go to work after this. And surprisingly, I'm very surprised Reach Apex didn't focus on the turtle, considering that they know that there's 2 people on this side of the map, on the top side of the map. Alright, they just gotta play the numbers game for Reach Apex. If they have 2 people on this side of the map, when the turtle spawns, that means that they're gonna have 4 people advantage. They're gonna have 4v3 at least on the turtle when they contest for it. For Reach Apex, but they didn't do that for some reason. Again, this is an amateur tournament, this is an amateur team, so obviously they have a lot of things to work on, along with the common sense or logic that they have to do in the game. Alright, so actually a very easy turtle for JNA with 3 people only. 3 people, alright? That is very unacceptable if I was a Reach Apex coach for me. Alright, they should be the one taking the turtle, they should not be getting. Oh, but surprisingly, Zast actually gets a kill on Yisun Shin. So that is super lucky for Yisun Shin, for Zast, because Zast focused the Yisun Shin instead of the Baxia. If Baxia was the one that got focused by the Zast tower, it would have been good for JNA. But they ended up getting the Yisun Shin with the Zast ulti, so that's good. Odette actually was forced to ult here, and he actually trades the Yisun Shin, and they might even get another kill here, but I don't think they want to fight anymore. It's a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Reach Apex, but they got the turtle, so it's like an even trade, I would say, for both teams. But now, Odette is dead, and Odette is going to spawn in 7 seconds. Now, this is where the strategy is going to start. They wanted to take the turtle first before Odette rotates to the gold lane. So now that Odette is level 4, or actually level 5, I think Odette is gonna go clear mid first, and then go to the top lane and force this top lane siege right here. He's actually gonna clear mid first, and then go top lane, and then force a siege with 4 people. So it's gonna be a 4v2, and let's see what happens here. Let's see if JNA is gonna successfully get this tower. Diggie's already gonna ulti, but he's actually out of the range. Odette is out of range of the Diggie ulti because he's super low. So this is actually a very how do you say this? A very flawed gank, but it still worked. Actually, it did not work. It's a 1-for-1 trade. So a very messy gank for JNA, to be honest. They are doing this strategy, but it's not perfect. But hopefully you guys understand the goal of this strategy. It's pretty much just gonna try to force a tower on the top side of the map, and then Odette's ulti cannot be cancelled when Diggie ultis, so it's very hard to counter. There's right there, that I would say that is a mistake right there, because usually when there's an Odette ulti, you wanna make sure that Diggie also has ulti so Odette doesn't get cancelled. But in this case, CJ, which is the Odette, ultied right away without the Diggie ulti, so that's miscommunication right there. CJ should never be ulting whenever Diggie does not have ulti, because it's very easy for Paquito and for who else is this? Oh, Lapu Lapu cannot cancel Odette ulti, so that's fine. And Brody to cancel Odette ulti with a stun. Alright, so that is a mistake right there, and Reach Apex, they ended up living because of that. Alright, if the Odette didn't get cancelled there, I think they could have gotten a kill on Paquito, and instead of winning that trade, they actually lost the trade. But Bruno's gonna get a kill there on Paquito, so it's a tank for a tank. Actually, it's a tank for a Diggie, so it's a 1-for-1 trade. It's still even. We see that Baxia actually rotates a lot faster than Zas. Alright, so that's why we see Baxia here on the top side of the map. Reach Apex is actually doing really good against this strategy, except for the early stages of the game where they gave away the turtle, and they luckily the turtle is on the gold side now, so that's why JNA, they still got the turtle anyways. Alright, so they're very lucky, because usually the second spawn is random. So Lapu Lapu is gonna try to clear the minions, and he actually what's it called, succeeded in clearing the minions so that JNA cannot push. Alright, so one way to counter the strategy is to have fast wave clear on your side lanes. Alright, as long as you wave clear your side lanes, this draft is going to be really hard for them to execute. right? Because they cannot push the towers without minions. So now Baxia is doing a 1v3 here, but he's gonna ulti, so he's gonna be very tanky, and I think he's gonna die and they're gonna get the tower. So instead of JNA actually getting the objectives, it's actually Reach Apex getting the first tower, which is very, very surprising. It's supposed to be the other way around. So again, we see an imperfect strategy here, but later on it's gonna be really hard for them to defend this strat, or to counter this strat, because once Odette gets his items and then Diggie gets tankier and Bruno gets even more fed, it's super hard for Reach Apex to go on team fights. Right, later on you'll see JNA eSports group up and kind of, as you can see, they switch lanes. They're like, okay, these guys have too much wave clear top lane, and Reach Apex actually did really good by switching lanes. Alright, you guys gotta remember, Zas used to be bot lane, which doesn't have the best wave clear, because the Zas tower only focuses one minion, whereas Lapu Lapu actually has AoE damage on the minions, so he can wave clear a lot faster than Zas. So as you can see, Reach Apex, they just want to wave clear right here, even ulting just one cannon tower, making sure that this tower doesn't go down. Alright, so that's why you see Lapu Lapu. It might seem like Lapu Lapu's ulting for no reason, but there's a reason for it. They just want to wave clear, and right here, the Baxia actually rotated top lane as well. So JNA is actually not executing this game plan so well, but they're good here. Now, Odette can ulti without the Diggie ulti, because nobody can cancel his ulti here except for Paquito. But if Paquito tries going in, Diggie's ready for the ulti anyways, because he has the green light. So finally JNA gets the first tower. So what they're gonna do here is either force this second tier tower, because they still have minions, and Paquito wave clear, and Farsa wave cleared as well the minions. As you can see, what their goal is to just wave clear the minions. They know exactly how to counter this strategy, honestly, and they're getting more objectives than JNA, which is super surprising now that there's minions here at mid lane. What JNA needs to do is they just need to focus on a specific lane. As long as it has minions, they want to go towards that lane. Alright, they know that Farsa doesn't have ulti, so he has no way to actually clear this wave. He has no way to clear this wave because they saw Farsa ulti earlier. So now the turtle's gonna go up and they're ready for the turtle. They're gonna go as a 4-man turtle, and this is a free turtle as well for JNA, and it's supposed to be the other way around with the turtle. Alright, so apparently JNA is getting more turtles, but Reach Apex is getting more towers. It's kind of confusing and kind of weird to see, because it's supposed to be the other way around. JNA is supposed to get more towers, and then Reach Apex is supposed to get more turtles. But either way, JNA is catching up. They're actually just even gold, as you can see, 19k each. And we see the Diggie ulti right there. Give me 1 second. Diggie, the Odette ulti was kind of bad, to be honest. Let's see what happened here. I think he was just trying to protect the Bruno. That's why he ulted here. Yeah, he was just trying to protect the Bruno, and for that reason, the Brody got out of position, and he's actually gonna get turned on. So that's actually really good for JNA. So let's keep going here. They can keep going. Now Bruno's really fed. He has a lot of farm. He's been getting babysitted this whole game, so there's no reason for Bruno to be underfed. Alright, so they're gonna go for the next tower. Now Farsa wave cleared mid. He ulted mid, so the most logical thing to do is rotate top lane and try to siege a top lane tower for JNA. So they're just taking towers one by one. Alright, obviously not the perfect execution for the draft on JNA side. If you want to see another example of this type of strategy, you could try Ray Uprising. They have a lot of games just like this, alright, with the Odette, Diggie, and Bruno strategy. And they even do Estes. Here we see that the Diggie and the Odette finally ulted together, which they should have done earlier, and Paquito's super low. The Zaz ulti actually really hurts, and the Lapu Lapu is actually doing really good here by going in and responding to that team fight. So again, JNA, a very flawed execution here, but they're gonna make it work in the later stages of the game. Odette is actually just trying to wave clear this minion so that they don't get to push. The turtle's up, so they're actually going to try to contest for it with the Baxia on the front line. And Bruno's actually really fed. As you can see, he's level 11, the same level as the Brody on the other sides. But actually, Yisenshin is level 12, so this Yisenshin has also been farming pretty darn well without any invasion at all. So both those cores are very strong. So let's see what JNA will do now. Let's skip this. There's really no need to see this anymore. So either JNA force a Lord fight with the team composition they have, which is actually also a good choice. or they could push a tower with the 4 people they have. But like I said, they have the team fight composition, since they have the Odette, Bruno, and Diggie composition. So they're actually really really confident with this choice. Now Farsa ulted, he has cooldown on his ulti. Now they want to back off and reset the lanes. Here we go. They're gonna try to go all in on at Paquito, and Paquito's super low, and they actually ended up getting a 1-4-0 trade in favor of JNA. They saw Brody ulti as well. I'm not really sure why he ulted. I would say that was an amateur mistake, and this is the reason why they're in an amateur tournament. Obviously they don't have perfect execution. I think he was just trying to kill the Diggie, but he had no... Diggie had like 1 stack. There's just no way for him to get that kill, and it was forced. So now Farsa doesn't have ulti and Brody doesn't have ulti, which makes it more of an advantage for JNA side, right? Now Diggie's really low, but he's not really scared about this. He's not scared about this. What's it called? He's not scared about this. This Lapu-Lapu. I don't know what happened there. The video just shows this. Yeah, it just minimized because of the recording, right? I'm not watching the actual recording. I'm watching a YouTube VOD, so that's why I did that. So we just missed the whole fight, a Lord fight, and apparently JNA got that Lord, right? Since Farsa was missing ulti and Brody was missing ulti earlier. So now, since they're kind of taking advantage of the draft they have. They're a team fight heavy team composition, right? So the more that JNA groups, the higher the chance that they'll win, right? The only way for Reach Apex to win this game would probably be for someone to split push and try to hold a 4v5 to where, depending on where JNA is pushing, right? And just wave clear. That's the only way Reach Apex could win this in the later stages of the game. Alright, so let's keep going. They're using Lord to their advantage. We skipped a little bit too much. We see that Diggie and Odette has ulti, so they're gonna combine that together. You'll see here. There goes the Odette ulti with the Diggie ulti. Perfect timing. The communication is on point. There's no way for them to cancel the Odette ulti because the Diggie ulti is right there. As you saw, Paquito tried knocking up the Odette, but there's just no way for him to cancel it. Odette did die, but it doesn't matter. It's a 2-for-1 trade, and it's still worth it for the JNA side actually. And right here we see that Baxia trying to zone the front line. They still have super minions, and Bruno's just focusing on the tower. He doesn't even care about the damage on the on Brody, because Brody's building tank build. This is when tank build Brody is still a thing. Now that Brody got nerfed, you cannot really do tank build Brody anymore. Farsa's missing his ulti. Ooh, that sidestep from Trevor. The sidestep, the crossover is insane. But let's see here. They're gonna wait for the next Lord most likely and just end the game and group up. That's pretty much what's gonna happen. Every time that there's minions, JNA will usually want to push. As you can see here, Diggie and Odette ulted at the same time again. Right, so it's pretty straightforward. As you can see, even if you do really bad early game, you could still manage to win the game in the later stages. All right. So if you're like a public rank game 5-man squad, you don't have to be a really good team. This is a this is a team composition that you can do and play in rank or draft in rank. All right. But let's keep going. They just wait for the Lord, and I'm pretty sure they're just gonna take the Lord and push with the Lord at the end. Here, as you can see, they always group up. JNA's always group. They're not separated. They always want to group next to the Diggie because they know as long as they're close to Diggie, they're not gonna be able to. They're not gonna die. They have shields, so now it's a 1-4-0 trade, and they're gonna be able to get the no more Zas ulti as well, because Zas is really freaking useless after the ulti. So as long as they reset the lanes, and Yisenshin can actually get this Lord by himself. Yeah, after that Lord, they just push and get the GGWP push. Yeah, so that's how you want to do the strategy. So if you guys are not aware of this strategy, you guys can try it out in rank. Again, shout out to JNA eSports, my previous team, and then shout out to Ray Uprising. We scream against these guys, so they really like doing this type of strategy. Alright, so if you guys really enjoyed this type of strategy analysis, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell before you guys leave. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll try to find more strategies for me to show you guys, some unique strategies that you don't usually see in the MPL, and more on the underground amateur tournaments. Alright, so thank you guys, thanks for watching, and I'm out. Peace.